Welcome back, everyone. Hope we've had a nice little break in between the matches, but we do have another amazing game on our hands. Charlie, why don't you give us a rundown on the teams?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, Viperio versus Vitalize, Fred. I mean, we were gifted. We were gifted on the first game that we got to watch.
Yeah, it was brilliant.
I mean, 16-14, right down to the wire. Pretty unbelievable game, and I think this one's going to be the exact same story. I think both these teams are looking really strong, but I don't know if I have a favourite.
Yeah, it's kind of, I was leaning a little bit more towards K10 in that first game we watched, and they weren't successful. But I feel like this one's going to be even closer. You know, we kind of spoke about overtime being a potential, and, you know, I feel like it's a similar kind of thing here. Viperio, Vitalize, both these teams, they've got some strong names, they've got some big players, and I feel like it could just come down to those, you know, small little instances in the game. You know, I feel like you got to take Nuke in that 1 versus 3 back to back. It seemed as though they were time and time again, you're just having just individuals clutching up here and now, and I feel like that's what it could come down to in the end of things. But yeah, I don't think I could pick a favorite. I maybe lean towards Viperio just based on their success in the RMR. I feel like they're going to be happy with that result. I feel like it's going to be geeing them on a bit. But I think at the same time, when you do have a team of such successes, you might kind of overlook your opponents, I guess.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see. I think I'd slightly edge towards Viperio as well. I think I'd agree with you on that aspect. But yeah, talking about individuals, like you said, about Nuke in the first game that we got to watch, I think it could come down to a similar thing. I think both these teams are a lot more evenly matched, I'd say. I mean, obviously the first game was 16-14. But yeah, I think this one is a similar story where they are very evenly matched. But I think it's going to come down to who's stepping up on the day. Because we've already said it. It's a best of one at the end of the day. We've spoken to a number of the players. It feels like it does feel like a lot of them have been saying 1 round's the difference.
Yeah, definitely.
So it feels like it's just these individuals in these sort of rounds, these clutches, these pistol rounds, whatever it may be, it feels like that's going to be the difference. So it's going to be interesting to see who's actually going to be the players that step up in the server here, because they're going to need to.
Yeah, the pistol's definitely having kind of a really key aspect. Not only is it going to get you the initial start on a game, it's going to give you that confidence and also those extra couple rounds. And I feel like when you are struggling to find those pistols, it can, although it's only maybe 4 rounds total in the game, it's going to shake your confidence and it's going to upset your kind of momentum that you really want to be setting in. And I feel like that's something that could play a part here. It could be based on momentum. It could just be whichever team hits the ground running first, because as you said, these best of ones, they're kind of over before they start. It can be all said and done in the first 10 rounds of Counter-Strike, because you go up 8-2, realistically, you should be closing out the game, and it's not as though they're going to be throwing it away. These teams, they've been in these situations before. They know what they need to be doing at this high level. So I feel like, yeah, it could just come down to those early rounds. Is there any player, though, obviously you mentioned Viperio, but is there anyone on the Vitalize side that you'd maybe keep the Viperio players a little bit cautious of?
Yeah, I think Fraser has to be mentioned when you talk about this Vitalize side, when you talk about whatever side Fraser's in, really.
Yeah.
It's similar to what we saw with Nuke actually in the first game. It's not necessarily about being top of the server. It's about being having the impact with the kills that you do get, the rounds that you're a part of, and Fraser sort of just lives and breathes that.
Yeah, definitely.
Every single one of the kills he has, it feels like it's instrumental to the round. Whether they're going to win it or it's going to break a team's economy, whatever it is, it feels like Fraser's going to be the man to do it. And in clutches as well, can be such a menace there. So yeah, I think I would have to lean towards Fraser on the Vitalize side, not necessarily because I think he's going to be right there at the top of the leaderboard, but just in terms of what he can provide a team in terms of the impact. So I think I've got to say Fraser.
Yeah, I'll agree with you. I've put him in the fantasy team.
Got him in the fantasy team?
Yeah, well, we had Adam JC, had Fraser. You've got to, right?
Don't you plan these games that we're casting?
It might seem as that. It might seem as such. But no, I feel like impactful player. He's always one to find the frags, and I feel like even in those rounds where it's those kind of half buys, those deagle rounds, that's where players like Fraser can really step up. But I feel like everyone in the server, all 10 players here, they're going to be prepped and ready for the game, and they're going to be going into it with kind of a lot of energy, because I feel like both of these two teams, they want to be claiming that #1 spot in the group. They want to be showing, you know what, maybe you put us as seed 1 or seed 2. We're going to show you that we're kind of really the top dogs in the game. But obviously we've spoken about the teams. Let's have a little bit of a look at the map pool and see which map we do reside on.
Yeah, I mean, this is going to be the interesting thing. I think a lot of teams have been looking at Overpass is going to be the map that we're going to see. And
we see it.
Have a look at that, Fred. Once again, Overpass.
Back to
back. Overpass is a map that is so sort of kind to these best of 1 formats.
Yeah.
A lot of these teams are going to know it. It's not really going to be a team's ban. A lot of the time in best of 3s, you'll see it be that 3rd map alongside one like Inferno.
Yeah,
so
definitely.
Especially with these 2 top teams here, both teams are going to be very well versed on the map. The individuals are going to thrive here. So yeah, Overpass is where we're going to lie, similar to the first game that we got to watch. And I know a lot of other teams have been playing this map. A lot of teams have been scared to play some teams on this map as well. So yeah, I think Overpass is going to be a great playground for both of these sides, really.
I think as well, if you look at kind of the later portions of the veto, we had Ancient there, we had Anubis there, but sadly they didn't want to play. I'd love to see a bit of an Ancient or Anubis game. I feel like
Anubis
both
would be great
yeah.
in the best of ones here.
Yeah,
That'd be a
definitely.
real brawl between the teams. But still,
100%.
one of the CS classics. I mean, Overpass it's been in the map pool since about 2013 now.
Yeah,
So
long
definitely
time.
it's definitely, and I feel like it's aged really well. And it's such a great map to watch. It's always so exciting, and that's going to be one of the things we touched on in the first game that we did. Orpin. That feels like it's going to be a very instrumental part. It wasn't actually as impactful in the first game that we watched.
Yeah, it was okay.
Yeah, it came down to the rifles a lot of the time. The clutches specifically, that's where they really thrived. So yeah, I think we're going to be looking at this. Surely the Orpers have to have a bit more impact here. It felt like it was a bit more of a timid playstyle from both Orpers. It felt like they played more the fundamentals. We would love to watch a bit more of aggressive style. More peaks towards mid, maybe a few more long aggression, whatever it may be. But yeah, it's really going to be interesting which team does take charge, which team sets the tempo for this game, because someone has to come out on top.
Yeah, and I think as well, something you've got to really think about is the fact that the economy for both of those teams in that last game was really, really rough. It was it was consistently back and forth. I feel like we always had moments where take that Tech 9 round, I believe it was Tree, got 4K, and I feel like they didn't win the round, but you're on a full buy and you're losing 4 players to Tech 9s. It's still, always going to be a detriment to the economy. And I feel like there was so many full buys where there was FAMAS's, Galil's, Mac 10s, even the odd Deagle in there, because I feel like the economy was a real problem in that first game. Hopefully we will be able to see a little bit more of the AWP in this one, but it's going to be a good one. I think we might see Vitalize starting on that CT side, so hopefully for them,
maybe that's the advantage. Yeah, maybe that's their one-up that they'll have on Viperio. But that's an interesting point that you raised, sort of in terms of just the economy that we will see. We didn't really see too many saves.
Yeah, it was a lot of it. Well, the round that really comes to mind, I think it was a 4 versus 3. We had 2 players swinging through the dumpster smoke. Really didn't work out well, and then they ended up investing in the next round anyway. Just keep those M4s into the next. They would have got a full buy, but potentially they still thought, there's a chance. We'll give it a go.
Crack, yeah.
But yeah, I think we are going to be heading into the action though now, Charlie. Viperio versus Vitalize, and as I mentioned, it will be Vitalize starting on that CT side. So hopefully for them, it will be a bit of a benefit for them. But the pistol round holding a lot of importance here.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of really explosive pistol rounds earlier today. But we'll see if it's a similar story. A bit of an early pause here. I think just a bit of a tech issue. But yeah, these pistol rounds are always so exciting to watch. It feels like nothing's a guarantee here, and it doesn't really matter how much prac you put into them. It feels like there's still a bit of a coin toss.
Yeah, and I feel like the clutches as well that you can have from that pistol round. We do love a little pistol 1 versus 3, 3 quick taps. Whether we'll see it in this one though, I don't know.
You might not get there, but Artist already, Fred, investing in that smoke grenade, flashbang, and a P250 for himself, feeling confident. I like that.
I think it's actually been dropped over by MMS. I think Artist might bring out a molly and maybe a molly and another flash, molly and a nade. I don't know.
Maybe a little bit of armor. Who knows?
Oh, you never know.
Artist with that P250 and armor. That's a dangerous combo.
Yeah, definitely. 100%.
They call him the new Olaf of the Tech.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they say. Sure, why not? Well, I'll call him that from now on. But yeah, it's going to be exciting to watch that. I don't think we're far away, Fred. This is a game that I think we're going to be on the edge of our seat by the end of this one.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like it definitely could go the distance. I feel like it is going to come down to those key rounds, and by the end of it, I think we're going to be constantly going back. Round 17, they won a 1 versus 2. We're going to be talking about those key rounds, because when you are 2 top teams here, teams that are potentially going to be looking to win the whole event, not just get themselves to the top spot in groups, but it is those really, really key rounds, because that the other team can very, very much capitalize on your mistakes.
Yeah, we're here now, Fred, though. Round 1 underway. Artist did, in fact, invest in that armor. So, yeah, definitely feeling confident with that P250. Going to be the player wielding that utility as well. Bomb lined up towards B, but potentially a bit of a fake here from Viperio, as a couple of their men have been sent towards A, going to be hitting towards long.
They need to find this frag, though. Obviously, rotations will come through. We do have Earl in the back lines as well. Smoke and a kit invested on the Vitalize side.
Oh, Earl could shut this all down, Fred. It's just a fake, a 2-man fake. Taps the first. That's Artist, and the utility gone. The fake is done.
That's a P250 gone as well. And the rotations, they've not come through. We still have Regan and Reese. Both down towards B. MMS, though, wants to find this frag, does so successfully, takes down Earl. He's aware of another player towards long, but Regan will find Ping. Bomb goes down, Giraffe gets one. That's a nice kill there.
Yeah, they're trying to force this retake towards B quickly, but it's actually going against them. It's just Regan now in a 1 versus 3. Look how low 2 of these players are.
It's still possible. I think the kit might be a little bit out of the question, though. Searching for a pick here. No one at Shed. Has spotted one, though.
Bomb's
And that's the full HP, Charlie. It's all on Gizmy. 3 points of health. Regan needs to either get on the bomb or get the kit. And he goes down to Gizmy. 3 HP, but it doesn't even matter. Clean headshot there. And Viperio, they take the pistol.
Yeah, he had the kit there, Fred. If he found that kill, that was it. He wins that round, but Vitalize, it looks like they made a few mistakes in that round. It looked really good from them. They caught out the fake. Earl found one in the back lines. They knew exactly where the second was. But yeah, the issue was Vitalize really wanted to rush that retake. They already found one of the kills. Regan got one there. So they had 2 men on the bomb site. That's all they needed to take down, but they rushed it too much. Got punished in doing so, and Viperio somehow come away with a round.
Yeah, definitely should have waited for those rotations. And, you know, instantly, Charlie, it's those split decisions that can change everything. Nice shot from Fraser, though. Gets one with the scout, searching for a second. Won't be successful, but still attempting. I respect the effort there.
Yeah, they really didn't expect that repeat there, that final one.
Neither did we.
Almost could have caught out a player, but with the deagle gets dropped by Ping.
Yeah, no longer a man advantage for Vitalize. Sadly, Earl falling. Obviously was a bit of a heroic player in the pistol. Got themselves a kill. Completely denied the fake, but didn't much matter. We do still have 2 SMGs here for Vitalize, and they haven't really shown themselves
They've
yet.
rotated a third man to wait, Fred.
It's because they've got to play in the back lines. Look at Reese. He's towards Fountain. He's going to be clearing out all of this toilets and banana control. But they won't be... I doubt they're going to be aware that there's 4 players behind this smoke.
Yeah, surely not. It's going to be a tough hold nonetheless. They just don't really have a weapon advantage, but they are still finding the frags.
Back and forth here. 1 versus 2 now for Giraffe. He finds the first, AK in hand. He knows Reese's position as well. This looks perfect for Vitalize, but things are not going their way. Giraffe struggling to find the pick, but he's going to be swinging. And he goes down to Reese, the 5-7 best the AK. That is devastating for Viperio. Not only does it not allow them to string the rounds together, but it's going to force them onto a buy here. Saved AK from Reese. What a round there for Vitalize, and that's what the 4-man gamble can give you.
Yeah, I mean, Zeph there with the, I believe it was just the UMP. Caused a lot of damage, found 2 kills in that one. And yeah, massively helped Vitalize. But yeah, it was the flank from Reese, Fred, like you touched on. The fact that it allowed them to gamble a 3rd player towards A. They had so many bodies on that bomb site, and Viperio did not expect that at all. Got caught out massively Earl with a lot of information. Goes for the swing and takes down Ping.
Yeah, nice stuff there. Going to be making some money. I feel like on these Deagle rounds, on these Tech 9 investments, you do have a chance, but you got to find the opener and retrieve that weapon fast. But losing a player so early, not going to be nice, and Gizmy falls into the trap. Earl finds his second, and things aren't looking great for Viperio, so we could see 3 go the way of Vitalize, but Artist keeps them in this one. Has got that M4, surely going to drop that to MMS, but Earl needs to be wary of that smoke, just backs away. Perfect timing there of the MP9.
Yeah, MMS really going to need to step up big this round. The only player with any sort of real significant health. Artist does fall. Both Viperio players have actually crossed past Earl, and he does get punished.
Nice stuff there. The swing from Zeth, very key there. Eliminates the remaining 2. Obviously, 3 players surviving for Vitalize. They're going to be making some money. And obviously, with Earl getting 2 with the MP9, or 3 in fact, he's going to be making, you know, he's made a lot of bank in this one.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't too bad around from Vitalize at all. The fact that, yeah, that they kept 3 alive. It was a force buy from Viperio. They're just on the eco now. So keeping 3 alive, it's a decent enough job. If they can win this one cleanly as well, they can start to really grow their economy.
Yeah, they've still got 2 MP9s in the mix as well. Earl and Reese. Ooh, the MP9 of Earl will connect a little late, only taking 22 points of damage, but don't go swinging for a second because you won't like what meets you. So 4 players there. Oh, Fraser on the M4. Gets 3, and Regan closes things out, eliminates Artist. So 4 surviving in this round. Did Reese go and try and retrieve a weapon? He's only got a 5-7 now. I think he...
Was he one of the MP9s?
I think so.
Might have wanted to upgrade it anyway. So, yeah, it might not be too big an issue at all. I mean, I don't believe there was a drop AK at all. They saved all the rifles into it. It was just Ol that went down with the MP9. But either way, Viperio back on the rifles now. Orb out for Fraser.
Yeah, util here for Viperio isn't perfect. Ooh, nice from Fraser. Eliminates Ping.
Yeah, I mentioned I wanted to see a bit more of that aggressive AWP, and it feels like he can really set the tempo for the game. And Fraser going for the early kill. Does get rewarded, but Regan swings towards short and gets a double.
What a performance so far for Regan, currently 6-2. Getting a double in this round as well. Obviously this is the full buy for Viperio, but we mentioned limitations in the util department. Similarly, Artist not wielding this favoured weapon. But this is where mistakes can cost you. Obviously, yes, it's a 2 versus 4, but Regan's low HP, and you can't give Artist or MMS anything to play with. And I think that's exactly what Vitalize are wary of. They're playing very passive towards B. They've actually gambled a player up towards A. Artist, if he finds this opener, it could be very dangerous. Drops the smoke towards Heaven, but Artist gets caught in rotation. Thinking the communication on that Heaven smoke certainly not perfect. MMS does find one, but Fraser with the trade, and Vitalize, they go 4 up early.
Yeah, I mean, a great round from Vitalize. It's a really strong start, Fred. They're up against the full buy of Viperio, and that's what they pull out of the bag. Fraser goes for the early kill. He rotates down to B, I believe. Flashes Regan in for the double. So Fraser, once again, having a huge impact. 2 flash assists, 2 kills. I mean, he's a player that I touched upon. I think he can be such a menace, and if he can continue playing like this...
I guess I will be winning the fantasy with the points.
Maybe.
Artist, CZ in hand. Didn't work out all too well. Gizmy does find one. Fraser. The flashbang from his teammate hinders him, in fact. I think he wanted to try and cross back to the bomb site. He has done so successfully now, but I don't think Fraser wants to go all the way back. Looking towards long, but no one will meet him there, as it seems as though Viperio just going to be backing away a bit. I say that, MMS.
Yeah, Fred, I don't know if you saw that. Viperio had 3 players looking towards the T-stairs. I think they were so aware that a flank could come through. We've already seen Vitalize do it twice now. So you certainly can't blame them for that, but they had so many bodies back. Fraser isn't really going to be able to have a look in towards long, but all 4 Viperio players lying in wait behind this smoke.
Yeah, sadly for Viperio, they don't have a flash to send themselves through it. And Fraser could have had a lot of kind of bodies there towards long. There's a gap in the smoke. It's just about to fade. Fraser finds one. Oh, but they go into the crunch of Zeth. Only a double, though. And Ping, surviving, can get the bomb down. There's an AWP that can be retrieved as well, but Ping doesn't want any of it. Going to be searching for the frags, and he's tucked himself away here, deep towards Dumpster. Oh, we could find a freebie here. Does get one, and second soon to follow as Viperio able to win the round just with the pistol investment. That was a half buy for them, Charlie, and they take their second hit.
I mean, they started off with mad disadvantage as well. Oh, found the first, but got quickly traded. Viperio, great stuff there. And somehow Ping's able to win that round out. 1 versus 3 at the end.
That is ridiculous.
But yeah, the spacing just wasn't good enough from Vitalize at the end. They had to be aware that a push was a possibility. And yeah, it just allowed Ping to find the first. Like you said, it was a freebie. Just have the 1v1 onto the second, which he did surprise as well.
Yeah, and I think as well, a round like that, I mentioned how confidence plays such a key part in these, short games in the best of ones. So Ping able to win out that clutch 1 versus 3, it's going to be not only great for the confidence, but also it's given them another round to work with. And look at the economy of Vitalize. No AWP on Fraser, only 2 other rifles by his side, and then we've got the D and the 5.7. I say that. Giraffe eliminates Regan with the HE grenade. And both players towards B playing very close monster. That is Zeth and Reese.
I mean, we know how strong these 5.7s can be, especially in this sort of closer position.
I think Reese wants to go searching here.
Yeah, playing with a dangerous game. Monster can get spammed so easily, but MMS finds O towards A, trying to get a bit inquisitive.
Yeah, well, obviously they were ready for the flank in the last. It didn't come through, but they're still looking for it now. They know that Vitalize, they love to take this space. They love to get aggressive and, just make things easier on the defense. Fraser, though, oh, he goes down to Artist. Bit of an AWPing duel between the two, but Fraser, without his big green, never going to go so well. Gizmy only able to find one. Reese with the trade. That is that 5.7, but Giraffe ready, elevated up, catching him off. And third round for Viperio, and it's just going to be an eco here for Vitalize, so we're expecting after this one a bit of a level playing field.
Yeah, I mean, I love that from Viperio, that they get the man advantage and just freeze. There's no need to rush anything. They know that Vitalize are going to have to get aggressive. They've got the weaker weapons. They've got weaker utility. They've got to take some sort of risk, and we saw that with O's push towards Playground. He got punished there. So Viperio just got a gift for free, really.
And I think Viperio just going for a bit of a B hit. Reese with the Zeus in hand. Love to see the Zeus. Gizmy eliminates one with that Mac 10. Obviously the main goal here for Gizmy, try and find a couple kills. Ooh, Artist on the back of the smoke, but Giraffe is holding. Protect the President, keeping his teammate alive there.
Only had the Zeus out, Fred, there. Could have got a freebie.
And obviously, Viperio, they've taken no control here towards short, so they're so hesitant. Got another Zeus in play, but Gizmy ready for it, just pre-firing the angle with a Mac.
Yeah, 4-4, surely on the cards here, unless something can go drastically wrong. All leveled up though, Fred. I mean, this is a game that we mentioned we think is going to be a very close one. I mean, it's got all the signs of it.
Yeah, certainly. I feel like this one definitely could go the distance. Obviously, Vitalize being on that CT side, we're expecting potentially a bit of a 9-6 half, so Vitalize done a decent job so far, but Viperio, now they're out on the full buys, they are looking good. But no AWP once again for Fraser. And obviously such a key player for this Vitalize side without his primary weapon. We saw what kind of happened with Artist when he didn't have the AWP in hand. Didn't have the success we were expecting, but
yeah, just the M4s for Vitalize, like you said. I mean, look how weak the utility is.
Obviously they have prioritized that weaponry. Something that Viperio did early on, and they did get punished because of it.
Yeah, a lot of damage dealt there to Giraffe. Gonna think second about spamming that monster smoke.
And we do still have 2 HEs in play, I say that, as Reese sends his over towards short. Luckily for Viperio, they are just still outside monster. Ping playing anti-flash, anticipating a bit of an aggressive play. And Vitalize, they love a bit of an aggressive play. We saw it from towards Playground from earlier. And speak of the man, fully blinded here, tries to tuck himself away, but MMS only able to find one, eliminates Fraser. And now it's this progression out towards B. We do still have 2 defenders here. Reese could get caught out, deals a little bit of damage before backing off, and it's Regan to swing first. He does find one. Gizmy eliminates Reese with that HE grenade. Giraffe finds one. It's a 2 versus 2, but Giraffe still so low HP. Well, that molly might be a bit of a problem. It missed, in fact, bounced off the angled wall. And there's Giraffe falling. It's all on the AWP of Artist. Finds one, but nice swing there from Regan. And Vitalize, they take the lead once again.
Yeah, Regan, perfect timing with all of his swings there. Finds 3 on that B defense. It looked good from Viperio initially. Only 2 defenders towards B, completely caught out. They had to retreat into the water area, but that's where it seemed like they did their best work.
Full buyout though for Viperio. Success in the last couple has allowed them to keep Artist on the AWP, util in play as well, and oh, nice find from Fraser, eliminates Giraffe early, and Reese with the MP9 takes down MMS. This short aggression certainly hasn't worked out well for Viperio. Ping though will find Zeth, gives them something to work with, and with Reese being fairly low as well, it's not as though Viperio are out of this one. Certainly not going to be easy though. I think Gizmy might just screen through the smoke, but Fraser certainly ready for that one.
Yeah, I mean, 2 players staring at that angle, actually. I mean, it was a nice effort from Gizmy. Man disadvantage. Wanted to see if he can open up that B-bomb site himself, but does get caught in the process. Leaves Viperio in an even tougher position. 4-on-2, Artist and Ping. I mean, if there's a duo that could do it, Fred.
Yeah, definitely. Artist, though, with the AWP, needs to try and find a pick, and Fraser, certainly one they're going to be looking for. Flashbang coming over, though. Reese on 9 HP, getting aggressive, but Ping, anti-flash, takes him down. Viperio still disadvantaged, but they've got a chance now. Ooh, Molly going to keep Fraser at bay, and the bomb can go down now here. That's something really, really big for this Viperio side. Artist holding the lines here. Having a little bit of a look towards Bond. He spotted one in water. Oh, this could go very wrong here for Vitalize. And Fraser goes down. It's all on the MP9 of Earl, and Ping finds him. And exactly as you mentioned, Charlie, if there was 2 to do it, Artist and Ping, what a performance from them. Not even one of them falling. Ping with the 4K, a brilliant round there, and a great clutch.
Yeah, just had to be Artist and Ping. I mean, great stuff from both the individuals in such a difficult round. I mean, I understand the reason for what Vitalize initially did with Reese. He was very low HP. They tried to flash him in, see if he could get a cheeky kill. But yeah, in reality, it just cost him a kill early.
Could have waited for the bomb plant and let Reese swing.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I completely understand the reasoning behind it, but it didn't work out as planned. Fraser falls early. It is just the eco for Vitalize. Only weapon invested was a P250 on Reese.
Oh, in the flames right now. It might not have been heard, but MMS still holding. A very comfy round here for Viperio. Already finding 2. Obviously, as you mentioned, not really facing off against much.
Yeah, the fact that they found these 2 kills so early certainly could lead to them keeping all 5 alive, which would be absolutely perfect. In a 5-5 game where it will just naturally be so much closer, but Fred... Well, I was going to say Regan's in the back lines, but it doesn't matter. Cheeky kill there from Zeph. Almost able to get a second with that retrieved AK, but nice attempt nonetheless. Viperio, for the first time in this game, they take the lead.
Yeah, and obviously, it's not about how you start, it's about how you end these games, and if you're the one to find that all-important 16 in Viperio. Now, they found 6th, well, they found their 6th, and obviously, we kind of talk about Overpass, bit of a 9-6, and Viperio, anything else now, bit of a bonus, and double digits still is on the cards for them. Not going to be easy, but certainly something they're searching for. Oh, Fraser could get caught out here. Will go down to MMS. That is a great early find, and now it's Earl to try and find something towards Con. Nothing's going well for them, is it, Charlie?
Yeah, Viperio, they don't look like they're going to slow down at all, frankly. The way they're playing, 6 rounds already, you said that's a good enough D-side, but they want more, and Zeph, all that remains, and Gizmi shuts him down. Viperio find their 7th. Fred, they could really easily win the half now. What they're performing at, the level that they're playing at, is really immense, and Vitalize, look at their economy, they've got nothing to play with.
Yeah, in the bin, I feel like we need to see a bit of a mid-peak go Fraser's way for this to work, because it seems as though everything that Vitalize are showing, nothing's going their way. We saw the fade through the smoke there. Yes, they found 1, but realistically, it could have been an easy 2-for-0 situation. It seems as though Vitalize, they're going for these aggressive peaks, they're going for these aggressive plays, and it's not working out for them. Obviously, early doors, that's where they found that initial success. They caught Viperio out, but now Viperio, they're ready for it. They're holding these smoke pushes. They're ready for the mid-peak, and Vitalize potentially need to switch things up.
Yeah, I mean, nothing's being done right now from Vitalize. I mean, look at the money they have. It is in such a difficult position, really. Just the Deagle's in play.
Giraffe going to be pushing through, though. Artist finds the first. Lovely tap there from Giraffe.
Fred, this could be another clean 5-man survival for Viperio. Yeah, they're dealing with these rounds so well. And Fred, this is going to be them winning the half. 8 rounds are going to be on the cards. What more can they get?
And that's what I'm saying. You know, 10, although a bit of a pipe dream, it seems as though they're edging ever closer. Artist does go down. The orb can be saved, though. Regan soon to follow. Viperio, they've won the half now. They're only going to be facing off against one more full buy here for Vitalize. We do see Fraser back out on the orb, but needs to have that success towards middle, because realistically, it didn't go well in the last round, and he needs to find something in this one.
Yeah, I mean, we saw him initially when he brought out the orb have a lot of impact. He was someone that I really sung their praises when he found those 2 kills, 2 flash assists on his first round with the orb. We haven't really seen that since. He doesn't feel like he's being given the opportunity. Viperio have hit another level, and they're certainly not slowing down.
Speaking of Fraser, though, really in a tough position. He's got many opponents to face, but he does find his first with a cheeky little no-scope. Might search for the second here, has spotted him. Just biding his time, waiting for the swing. Takes a bit of a pot shot on the jiggle. He got stuck on the wall. Gizmi eliminates him. That is devastating. 2 versus 2 now, though. And
yeah,
Vitalize, they've got the chance.
Yeah, that's what I mean. There's at least the chance of Vitalize. It feels like these last few rounds have massively gone the way of Viperio without really much safe from Vitalize at all. So Regan has to dig deep here. He's got 2 kills in this round already. He needs backup from Reese. Artist in another clutch hit. Not with Ping this time, but Gizmi by his side. Pushing out towards B. Fred, B's undefended.
Yeah, and I think Vitalize, they're going to realize that very soon. And Viperio, they're not using any of their util here. They're just going contact. They're aware that it could be a bit of a B gamble, but I think at the same time, they're ready for there to be kind of no one home, I guess you could say. Regan is playing from heaven, though, and now the util comes on through. Regan can deny, in fact. He's in a great position here. Artist goes for a bit of a peek. Regan not ready for Gizmi's swing. and it's all on Reese now. And Charlie, Vitalize, do they go for this? Does Reese have an attempt at this? He's got full utility, but the problem is the buy in the next definitely going to have a lot of limitations. Reese, he does find the first, but Artist switches to the AK, drops the AWP off, but he still finds success with it. That's 9 rounds for Viperio. No M4 saved into the next, and 10 rounds seeming somewhat guaranteed now.
We saw that ping play with the Tech-9 where he swung on the 2 players and the spacing just was off. Viperio in that round, that's fundamentals down to an absolute T. The initial double swing that they went for, there's no chance. I believe it was Regan in heaven, no chance he was getting out of there. Even if he got one, he was surely going to be soon followed. Same thing there. Initial swing, perfect. What would have been a trade opportunity. So just great counter-strike from Viperio in general. This is a much better defense though, and it could be a pretty quick round. It's just Artist remaining. He finds one. Would be an immense clutch if he could win this. Aware of the second miss shot though, surely not going to get a chance for another. And that's the half, Fred. 9-6 on the T side. Viperio take that.
Yeah, very successful. Obviously, you know, they were initially 4-1 down. It was 5-4, but they had a great streak of those 5 rounds, and that really gave Viperio not something to work with, but it gave them kind of, they're now the ones in the driver's seat. It seems as though in the kind of second portion of that half, Vitalize, they were always trying to claw their way back into it, and I feel like it's going to be, you know, a similar kind of story here on their T side. They're already disadvantaged. If they lose the pistol, it's going to be so tough for them.
Yeah, I mean, it really did feel like Viperio, I mean, looking at them playing in the last 5-6 rounds or so, it felt like they were slow to start. It just felt like they were a bit off coming into this map, but they really found their footing. And when they found it, I mean, they came out the gate swinging. It looked like every round they just had the one-up on Vitalize. But 3 rounds in it, pistol round is so vitally important. Regan finds the first, though. Artist with the swing, too many targets, but he's still alive. Fred finds the double.
Yeah, I'm really questioning as to how he didn't go down so early. You know, when you're in the Julies in that situation, if you don't find them instantly, you're kind of a little bit screwed, but no.
I mean, fire and P shooters, Fred.
Yeah,
body shots.
Definitely. It is going to be this A hit here, though. We do have Ping hiding away, tucked away here. Reese getting aggressive. Ping will deny the plant, though, and it's all on Reese. P250 in hand. Oh, he finds the first. Not the second, though. Giraffe and MMS shoulder to shoulder as they leave Dumpster. And they take the round with them. 10-6 now, Charlie. Viperio, yes, they had a little bit of a slow start, but they're here in full force. And this is going to be a tough one. And I feel like Vitalize, they realise it. We can't let them have 11, 12 rounds. We've got to kind of bring ourselves back into the game here and now. And that's what the force bite hopefully should do for them.
I mean, such a bold call. I mean, it's really make or break. These are the risky plays that make these top teams.
High risk, high reward. Let's see what reward Vitalize get in this round. Oh, they do fall to Artist on that MP9. Expecting maybe an eco, but things are still working out well here for the Viperio side. They go into it with 4 MP9s. And they come out of it with 3.
Yeah, 4 surviving there against the force by a Vitalize. Yeah, you really can't ask much more. Yeah. Made a lot of cash with those MP9s as well. And, I mean, that's pretty disastrous for Vitalize, if we're being honest. Losing the pistol, attempting the force buy, and just getting absolutely shut down. It wasn't even like it was a close round, so not much can be invested. I say that. A few Deagles, in fact. Tech-9 as well, but this should be, in theory, Viperio's 12th.
Yeah, and obviously we still have 4 MP9s in play for them. They want to make as much money as possible, potentially just completely upgrade, but things are looking nice for them in this round, expectedly. Earl will find one with the Glock, in fact. We saw 3 Deagles and a Tech-9, but it was the Glock that found the kill. And it's the Glock that finds the only kill. Devastating scenes here for Vitalize.
MP9's finding all 5 kills there for Viperio as well. Look at the cash they have. Look at Artist. He's sitting on 10k. Oh. I think you surely do. You're 4 rounds away from winning the game, Fred. You don't want to give Vitalize anything. I mean, we saw the momentum shift in the first half that really allowed Viperio to have this sort of dominance run. You don't want to allow Vitalize to have this back because we know these players can do it. Yeah, we've seen it time after time. So yeah, Viperio, they just want to get, at least one of the M4s have been upgraded, one of the MP9s, sorry, but an AWP out for Artist. The rest of the guys sticking with these MP9s. This is where you play these close corners, and in fact, they're just taking short with it. I like this.
And they've kind of taken it for free. They're going to be getting flashed, and I think we're going to be seeing some aggression here towards Monster. And Reese needs to be ready for it. We'll find one, but MMS with the trade. And I'll be honest, when you go into it with 2 MP9s and you come out of it with 1 player alive, it's not all too bad. Obviously, this is still an important round for Viperio to win. Much more important for Vitalize, though.
Yeah, I mean, it really feels like it would give them a bit more of a buffer, a bit more of a lifeline, because they lose this one without bomb plant. There's no buy invested, but the utility alone from Viperio is certainly chipping down these Vitalize guys. Earl and Fraser both sitting less than half HP.
Yeah, and I think as well, if Vitalize do win this, they're still going to win it very convincingly, because look at the money, Charlie. They've got hardly anything in the bank, but I don't think they need to be too worried about winning it convincingly. Let's focus on getting the round first. Regan now emerges from Banana, could find Artist, lovely shot there. The A-bomb site is open, and Zeth holding the back lines. It's now all on Gizmy. Gonna retrieve the AWP, try and work some magic here. Swings out onto the bomb site, gets a bit of a freebie onto Regan, and that's the problem you face when you decide to split, and Gizmy well aware of this B play now. Switches to the MP9 as well, and I think this could work out quite well for Gizmy, because Zeth very much aware of the fact he could be on the AWP, and here's the MP9. But it does go down. Zeth clutching it out, finding 3 kills in this round. But as I mentioned, Charlie, look at the money for Vitalize. Zeth going to have to drop one over. But we're going to be seeing maybe some Mac 10s, Galils at best on some of these individuals. And Viperio, they're just going to get a very comfy buyout. The only real limitation being Gizmy on that FAMAS. But
yeah, Gizmy potentially wishing he kept the AWP there. Felt like that would have been a shot he could have comfortably hit. But maybe just wanted to get a bit more aggressive. Didn't realize that Vitalize could get so aggressive themselves, frankly, but 12-7, 5 rounds in it, but it does feel like Viperio are the ones really in the lead here.
Vitalize have got to string these rounds together. Obviously, economy not great, and I'll be honest with you, Charlie. Maybe the kind of the high hopes of going into this game have started to demise for this Vitalize side.
Yeah, I mean, they just can't, though. It's a game like this, anything can happen. We've heard already from the players, comebacks have happened, miracles, clutches being won out of nowhere. We've seen it with our own eyes, Fred, that there's no reason why Vitalize can't come back into this game, but they just need to continue to apply the pressure.
Charlie, we've got 55 seconds remaining, a flashbang and an HE grenade remaining on Vitalize. I feel like the only way they're going to win this one is they've got to go in contact. They've got to try and find a bit of a lucky kill and just progress onto whichever bomb site they decide to go to, but it's not going to be easy.
Oh, look at Giraffe. Just pushed up towards long.
So
much of this is clear, and Zeth through the wall gets dropped, deleted by Artist.
Yeah, not only is this such an important round for Vitalize to win, but the fact they lose a player in that fashion, Artist finds another. Reese emerging from short does find one. Gizmy eliminates Earl. Trade does come through, so 2 versus 2 now, and a possible round win. Reese has been spotted. Gonna stay deep here. I said it's backing away. Finds Artist. That is brilliant. Oh, but the M4 of Giraffe emerges, and he finds the second. We mentioned Giraffe was in the back lines. He's biding his time, and eventually he pounces. Viperio find their 13th, and Vitalize. It's gonna surely have to be a bit of an eco from them.
Yeah, they're going to at least invest in a little bit, which I suppose is, I mean, the only saving grace you can really take from that. But yeah, they're not in a great position right now. 2.9k loss bonus. They'll have enough to bring out whatever they could really want in the next rounds. But Fraser's actually invested a decent amount, so might not actually be looking for that AWP. Maybe just going to want to stick with the rifles, but the MP9s, of course, Red, they're back out. They're up against a weak buy.
I love a good MP9. I feel like I'd probably use the MP9 more than the M4 these days.
I mean, in this game, it feels like Viperio have.
Well, they've been making money with it, and they're, you know, looking good.
I mean, yeah, they've done a great job with the MP9, so why not? There's another one. Gizmy striking.
Just popping up in Earl's face. He wasn't really ready for that.
Yeah, all on Regan now. Deagle in hand. 100 points of health to his name. Well, made that 25. Nice shot onto Gizmy, though.
Well, he's aware of Ping's aggression, but Regan don't really know what he's going to do. There's no real exit strategy for him. That's one way to exit the round. Get yourself deleted by MMS with that MP9.
He exits it while giving Viperio their 14th, Fred, 2 rounds away. This game was so close. It was 5-5 at one point.
Vitalize were in the lead. They were looking like the dominant factor here, but
I think they were the first to find 6. I think it was 6-5 in their favour. Which just shows how this sort of current form that Viperio are on is unbelievable.
Slows to start, but once they're there, you don't really have much to go from.
It feels like they're making this map very claustrophobic for Vitalize, which is one thing I love to see about Overpass. It's a map that the CTs have a lot of control naturally, but a lot of teams opt not to use it, but Viperio certainly doing so. But they do lose Ping in the meantime, gets aggressive towards long. And gets shut down while doing so, but 4 versus 4 here.
Obviously, the kill they found on short onto Earl. Very important there. Here's the long aggression. Here's that kind of the aggression we see from Viperio as well. Love a bit of control taken from them. A 2-2 split here for Viperio. And this is where Vitalize can capitalize on this. They've got a fair bit of util to work with as well. Fraser can be boosting over, tries to find something. It's not going to be an easy round, though, for Vitalize.
Yeah, clock is ticking down. I was thinking the same thing for Viperio. They don't have any information of where these players are, playing very far back on both bomb sites. So this is going to be the first port of contact. But Draft actually does find one before going down. 3 versus 3. 2 pieces of util to retake this bomb site from Viperio with.
Yeah, smoke and a flash, though. Gives me wielding them both now as it has been dropped over. I think they're just going to try and flash MMS and Artist in. They've only got that one flash, though. It needs to be perfect. Reese still close in the bomb site. Going to be looking for a pick. Has spotted one flash. Not good enough to blind Reese. Still dancing around Dice. Will find one. Second as well. Oh, and MMS gets a quick double. Tap of the bomb. And Regan. Oh, it got very close there. Regan brought down to 23 points of health. Still wins the round, though. But Vitalize, this is their avenue back. Gives me hardly any money in the bank. Similar story for, you know, a couple of the Viperio players. They're going to be investing in this one. But Vitalize, they need to win this one. Not only is the Viperio economy looking a little weak, it's a similar story for Vitalize. So this round going to dictate their fate. If they do have a victory in this one, they can bring themselves maybe to double digits. And that's where they've got a bit of a chance. But this could be it for Viperio. If they take this round, resets the money of Vitalize.
That just end to the round really just shows how scary Viperio can be, regardless of the situation. Ping gets found in the smoke by Zeph. 2 plays towards connector. In fact, all 3 towards connector for Vitalize.
We've got one in top con, though, being Artist. Are they going to be aware of him, though? He's just, in fact, tucked outside it. Begging for a rotation in Giraffe.
Yeah, feels like a bit of a one-and-done position, though.
He's got the A1S. I feel like if you use some discipline there, it's going to get checked, though, that corner. So potentially a bit of a one-and-done, yeah, as you mentioned.
I mean, it could be all that Viperio really need, though. Just make sure Vitalize have as little players as possible. A very slow played round, and yeah, Artist starting to lose patience, but gets rewarded for it, in fact.
They get swung on, though. Regan aware of the flash coming through. He knows Artist probably doesn't have his gun out. 2 versus 3 now. Is that a pair of Julies on Gizmy? I think so.
I mean, money must have been very, very tough for Viperio.
1.3
yeah,
for Gizmy.
I saw it wasn't great, but yeah, boy, the Julies. Does he get fully cleared? He does, but still does a decent enough amount of damage to Reese.
MMS tucked in towards barrels, and they line up for 2. Easy stuff there for MMS. 15th found for Viperio, and look at the money here. Fraser instantly invested in an AK and armor. He knows if they want the chance of winning the game, has to have some heroic moments. But this could be it for Vitalize. A game we anticipated to be really down to the wire hasn't gone as such.
Yeah, it's been really the Viperio show ever since sort of 10 rounds in. Zeph has a sword off. I don't know where he's planning on using that.
Might not have much chance to use it anymore. He pushes into short.
Freddy, he's still going.
You can't stop Zeph. Got a sword off in hand, Charlie. You're not going to be laying that gun at range.
Yeah, has finally sort of calmed the storm a bit as he's just holding towards short water, but Vitalize, Fred, they need a miracle this round, surely.
I'd love it to be Zeph. 3 kills with a sword off.
16 HP.
I like it.
Yeah, has to really dig deep this whole Vitalize size, because otherwise this game's done. It already looks like they're in such a deep hole.
And it's kind of what Viperio have conditioned, you know, this Vitalize side. Fraser playing, you know, he had a kill to his sights. He knew where the player was, and he's backing away. He knows that he's the key player. He's got the AK. 2 for 2 on sight. Oh, Regan, that's a team kill. Brings it to a 2 versus 3. The molly just shy of hitting Giraffe, and it's all on Fraser. He finds the first. 1 versus 2 now. It's not going to be easy, though. And Ping, certainly the key man to be watching in this one.
Yeah, just 1 point of health on Giraffe. He has to play this so passively, doesn't want to give it up, doesn't want to allow Fraser to be in the 1 versus 1, but both players starting to burst, starting to emerge and draw falls, but Ping, the player you mentioned, he's the one who finishes it all, and he's not defusing yet, Fred, why would you? He wants to savor this moment. 16 to 8 Viperio, best Vitalize in such, well, what we thought would be such a close game, but turns out it was just Viperio dominance.
Yeah, it definitely was. I feel like Viperio, slow to start, but they were brilliant once they got going. And I feel like everyone had their moments. Everyone had their really, really key, impactful times. I feel like Artist, you've got to point him out. I believe he went 26 and 16. Such a key player, obviously, for this Viperio side. And everyone really had their moments. You know, I think Ping might have been bottom of the leaderboard, but 17 to 14, had some big clutches, and I feel like that's what Viperio provide.
I mean, you had a 1 versus 3, Fred.
Yeah, everyone has it.
I mean, that felt like that was the difference. That felt like that was the turning point in the game when we saw that Tech 9 play, that full rush towards A, 1 versus 3, and somehow didn't even want to pick up a weapon. He was happy with the tech.
Clearly,
and that's really, yeah, I mean, clearly he did a good job of it. But yeah, that felt like the difference in that game. It feels like just today, the game that we watched, the individuals, it was very much a team performance, but everybody had their moments. Everybody shined in the spotlight.
Yeah, it wasn't as though anyone was in the darkness. And I feel like a game like that for Viperio against a really, really strong roster, Vitalize, not only is it going to kind of solidify that confidence that they had going into it, but realistically, they're going to be unbeatable. They're going to really, really just kind of flex their muscles in the whole of this weekend because, you know, definitely a team to be watching, definitely a team to take it, but I can't wait to see their kind of progression, not only through today, but through tomorrow as well. But that kind of, that's the game done. We are just going to be jumping to a short break, and then we've got the next match, which is Coalesce versus Free Friends 2 Foreigners. Can't wait to see that one in action.